Hi, hello, this is Gomer Joseph. I hope you've all been having a great day so far. Welcome back to another True Crime Tuesdays video. If you are new, I welcome you. And I am sorry for not posting last Tuesday. Real life has pretty much gotten in the way of that, but praise God, I am back. Today I'll be discussing the unsolved disappearance of Bianca Jones. This will actually be a part of my Did They Do It series. Bianca Jones's father is actually serving life in prison for her murder, but yet her body hasn't been found. And the father's guilt does seem pretty questionable. Not only that, but there is just so many different people who have so many different stories about this case, which just makes my head spin, and I encourage y'all to do your own research with this case after finishing this video. Here we go. Bianca Jones was born on November 26, 2009 in Detroit, Michigan to parents Bianca Jones and DeAndre Lane, who has 6 other children by 6 other women. Bianca was given the nickname Bacon and Bebe. On December 2nd, 2011, Bianca was 2 years old at the time. DeAndre dropped Bianca's older sister and her cousin off at school, then continued driving with Bianca in the car because he was on his way to Bianca's house to grab some of Bianca's clothes, since it was his turn for Bianca to stay with him since he and Bianca were not together. At 9:45 a.m., DeAndre, who was driving a 2004 Mercury Grand Marquis, stated how he saw a black man who looked about 25 through 30 years old standing by a small red passenger car with what seemed to have had front end damage, and pulled to the side of the road to check on the taillight damage. DeAndre added how another man walked up to him with a gun and took DeAndre's car with Bianca still inside the vehicle. The suspect was also said to have been 6 foot, 185 pounds, unshaven, wore a black shirt and pants, and wore a black baseball cap. DeAndre said that he chased after the car but couldn't catch up with it. And he didn't call 911 for some reason, which is just really strange to me, but called a friend about what occurred. Then the friend called 911 while DeAndre seemed to have been distraught and unable to speak. Police arrived and found DeAndre's vehicle 10 minutes later. The vehicle was actually still running and parked in an alley less than a mile where it was reported to have been stolen. And what's worse is that Bianca was not found inside the vehicle, and she was nowhere to be found. This just makes me question why someone would just steal a car and leave it in the alley, unless all they wanted was Bianca, but I really don't know. Bianca was called and informed about Bianca's disappearance. Understandably, she was shocked, and she found this situation to be surreal. One moment her baby's here, safe and sound, and the next her baby's not. Police and the FBI did get involved with finding Bianca, and the family would also plead for Bianca's safe return. While investigating, police began to believe that DeAndre was lying. DeAndre did have trouble with the law before with drugs, assault, and firearm charges. Police did interrogate DeAndre and was accusing him of killing Bianca, since they did not find her in the car and only found the vehicle. And he insisted that he was innocent. The baby mothers have stated how DeAndre had been a good father, and his children have stated that he was a good father and was known to be a strict disciplinarian. The night before Bianca disappeared, DeAndre did spank Bianca with a homemade padded and taped stick, which he used on all of his kids after she wet the bed when he was potty training her. But I'm all for spanking, but I'm wondering if or why any 2-year-old would really need to be spanked. For wetting the bed while they're being potty trained, I don't understand that either. DeAndre's nephew Travion Lane Tremel did state how he saw the spanking in the living room. DeAndre's fiance and the mother of one of his kids Angeli Lyons said that she heard the spanking in Bianca's room, heard a shriek, and nothing after. Police did believe that DeAndre beat Bianca to death with this stick. DeAndre took a polygraph test and failed. His attorney, Terry Johnson, believes it was faulty, and I'm not sure if it was or wasn't. I don't really know much about those type of tests. DeAndre's nephew, Travion, states how he saw Bianca the next morning alive and well, and that he saw DeAndre place a coat on her. Police had their own witness, Rico Blackwell, stating that Bianca was not in the car when he and DeAndre said hello, but DeAndre claims that Bianca was in the car and that Rico saw her. Police found a really tiny spot of blood on Bianca's pillow, and for all we know, it could have been some type of nosebleed or something like that. Lab reports have even stated that the paddling stick, which police believed killed Bianca, was clean and that there was also no blood in the car. So the police had to free DeAndre because of lack of evidence. Some of Bianca's relatives do believe that DeAndre is guilty for her disappearance. Police have stated that a cadaver dog picked up some human decomposition in Bianca's room and the car seat, but DeAndre's attorney dismissed it, saying that since the dog didn't find Bianca's body, it shouldn't be, stated in court or something like that, and yet it was enough for police to arrest and charge DeAndre with child abuse and murder. During the trial, Bianca stated how she believed in DeAndre's innocence, but DeAndre's fiance, on the other hand, Angeli, stated how DeAndre might have been guilty, sharing the same story with the court about how she heard DeAndre spanking Bianca, hearing the shriek, and nothing afterward. To everyone's surprise, former police officer Nikki Gibbs made a shocking revelation. She claimed to have seen Bianca alive a week after DeAndre was accused of murdering her. Nikki's story is that she arrived to a house because of a reported disturbance. She saw a baby who appeared to be crying walk into the room that Nikki was in, and recognized the same hair Bianca was reported to have had when she disappeared. And it was reported to detectives, but detectives were firm that Bianca was dead. But even if they were so sure Bianca was dead, you'd think that they would want to be 100% sure about that theory. Like, there was no body. Like, for the life of me, I don't understand why investigators wouldn't just look into it just to be 100% sure that Bianca was alive or dead. That just aggravates me. Michael Salisbury, who was the defense investigator, followed up on Nikki's sighting, and he believed the child was Bianca when he saw her. He noticed that the girl was dressed as a boy with eyebrows shaved. And since Bianca was described to have thick eyebrows, Michael Salisbury stated that it was the shape of the shaved eyebrows, and he asked police to make a search warrant for the house, but the police didn't want to hear it, so no search warrant was issued. So the defense, for some odd reason, didn't put Salisbury on the stand, and it gave prosecution a better chance to convict DeAndre. So the prosecution did win, and DeAndre was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. Terry Johnson, who is DeAndre's lawyer, said that he discovered that the house where the alleged sighting of Bianca belongs to a Patrice Hall, who DeAndre's lawyer says is related to Bianca Jones, but Bianca said that she's never heard of a Patrice Hall. Overall, Patrice no longer owns the house. Bianca stated that when Patrice did own the house, she would stay outside of it to see people walk in and out, but there was no sign of Bianca. DeAndre's lawyer is even going to say that Bianca probably has some involvement with Bianca's disappearance and knows where Bianca is to punish DeAndre, yet there's no evidence to back up that theory at all. And Bianca stated how she wishes she knew where Bianca was because she misses that girl so much. Angeli, DeAndre's fiance, revealed how she in fact didn't tell the full truth in court. She said that Bianca actually did answer questions after the spanking and wasn't silent. She said that she lied because she was afraid she was going to jail, but why would she go to jail because of something that she heard? Despite all of the craziness this case entails, one question remains. Where on earth is Bianca Jones? Yes, DeAndre is in prison, but there's no physical evidence pointing that he did it. If he did, I do pray that he would just give it up and reveal where Bianca is. Whether he did it or not, and I'm honestly not sure what to believe. I do pray that the police are still looking for Bianca, even though DeAndre has been convicted of her murder, even though her body's never been found. Honestly, there's nothing indicating that she's dead. Maybe she is with this Patrice Hall and is being raised by her or someone who knows her. Babies and toddlers have been kidnapped and raised by their kidnappers, but I don't know if this is the case for Bianca. There are people who love and miss that little girl. She would almost be 10 by now, and it's been like 8 years since she's been missing. And I do pray that we find out what really happened to her, and there is peace knowing that God knows exactly where Bianca is and exactly what happened to her. I thank you all for taking the time in your day to watch this video. If you did like this video, please feel free to hit the like button. If you guys have any thoughts about this case, please leave your thoughts in the comment section. If you guys would like to see more videos from me, please feel free to subscribe and click the bell to be notified about the next video. I'll see y'all next time for True Crime Tuesdays, and I'll talk to y'all later.